Hi all, in this lecture I am going to take the fifth module. The first topic is water pollution. Water is essential for the existence of all life form. In addition to household uses, water is an important role for agriculture, industry, fishery and tourism, etc. Increasing population, urbanization and industrialization has led to the decreased availability of water. The quality of water used is also being deteriorated as it is getting more and more polluted. You may be aware of at least some health hazards and harmful effects of water pollution. Next, water resources on Earth. You may be aware that about three-fourths of our planet Earth's surface is covered by water. However, very little of it is available for consumption. Most, about 97% of the water on Earth is present in the seas and oceans. It is too salty to be of any use for drinking, agriculture, and industrial purposes. The remaining 3% of fresh water is fresh water, and 75% of which is locked up in the polar ice caps and in glaciers. Fresh water, which we can use, comes to us from two sources. First of all, surface water, and the next is groundwater. First, surface water. Rain and snow are good natural resources of fresh water. It is estimated that of all the precipitation, rainwater and snow, that falls on the earth, about one third is absorbed by the plants, and the another one third seeps down into the soil, and the remaining one third runs off the surface into streams and rivers. This part of precipitation, which runs off to form streams, rivers, and lakes, is called the surface water. A small fraction of usable surface water is continuously replenished by means of the hydrological cycle. Surface water has a natural tendency to clean itself as it contains certain organisms that break down pollutants into harmless substances. A large amount of water is discharged back after domestic and industrial usage. This is contaminated with domestic waste and industrial effluents. When this is contamination reaches beyond certain allowed concentration, it is called pollution, and the contaminants are called pollutant. Water pollution may be defined as the contamination of streams, lakes, seas, underground water, or oceans by substances which are harmful for living beings. The concentration of substances naturally present in water increases, then also the water is said to be polluted. Water may be called polluted when the following parameters stated below reach beyond a specified concentration in water. First of all, physical parameters such as color, odor, turbidity, taste, temperature, and electrical conductivity constitute the physical parameters and are good indicators of contamination. For instance, color, turbidity are visible evidences of polluted water, while an offensive odor or a bitter and difference than normal taste also makes water unfit for drinking. And the next, chemical parameter. This include the amount of carbonates, sulfates, chlorides, fluoride, and nitrates and metal ions. These chemicals form the total dissolved solid presence in water. And the last parameter is biological parameter. The biological parameters include matter like algae, fungus, virus like that, bacteria. The life forms present in water are affected to a good extent by the presence of pollutants. The pollutants in water may cause a reduction in the population of both lower and higher plant and animal lives. Thus, the biological parameters give an indirect indication of the amount of pollution in water. And next, water pollution sources. Water pollutants refer to the substances which are capable of making any physical, chemical, or biological change in the water body. These have undesirable effect on living organisms. The water used for domestic, agricultural, and industrial purposes is discharged with some undesirable impurities in it. This contamination leads to the pollution of water, which is generally called freshwater pollution. Freshwater pollution may be classified into two types: surface water pollution and groundwater pollution. First, surface water pollution. When pollutants enter a stream, river, or lake, this gives rise to surface water pollution. The surface water pollution has a number of sources. This can be categorized as point and non point sources and natural and anthropogenic sources. First, point and non point sources. Point source, the well-defined source that emits pollutant or effluents directly into different water bodies of fresh water are called point sources. Domestic and industrial waste are example of this type. The point source of pollution can be effectively checked. On the other hand, non-point source of water pollution are scattered or spread over large areas. This type of sources deliver pollutants indirectly through environmental changes and account for majority of the contaminants in streams and lakes. For example, contaminated water that runs off from agriculture farm and construction sites and enters stream and lakes. It is quite difficult to control non-point sources. Next, natural and anthropogenic sources. An increase in the concentration of naturally occurring substances is also termed pollution. The sources of such an increase are called natural sources. On the other hand, the human activities that result into the pollution of water are called anthropogenic or man-made sources of water pollution. For example, domestic sewage and wastewater, and industrial and agricultural waste that goes into the rivers, lakes, streams, and seas are anthropogenic sources. Certain materials that are leached from the land by runoff water and enter the various water bodies also belong to this category. Next, groundwater pollution. When the polluted water seeps into the ground and enters an aquifer, it results into groundwater pollution. Groundwater only source of drinking water for most of our villages and many townships. Groundwater gets polluted in a number of ways: dumping of raw sewage on soil, seepage, pits, and septic tank cause pollution of groundwater. And the soluble pollutants are able to mix with the groundwater. Excessive use of nitrogenous fertilizers and unchecked release of toxic waste and even carcinogenic substances by industrial units may result in slow trickling down through the earth's surface and mixing with the groundwater. This problem is very serious, especially in areas where water table is high. And the groundwater with can move over large distances by virtue of the large empty space available below the earth's surface. This way, if some impurities seep into the groundwater at one point, they may be observed at a different point far removed from the point of source. In such a case, it is difficult to estimate the source of water pollution. However, suspended impurities and bacterial contaminants are removed in the process of seepage by the soil acting as an absorbent and filter, and water acting as a solvent. Since the movement of groundwater through the porous rock is very slow, pollutant which gets mixed with the groundwater are not readily diluted. Groundwater does not have access to air, therefore, oxidation of pollutants into harmless products in groundwater does not occur. Next, water pollution types or pollutants. Sources can be broadly put under the following types: sewage pollutants, such as domestic and municipal waste, industrial pollutants, agricultural pollutants, and radioactive and thermal pollutants. Domestic and municipal pollutants. The sewage contains garbage, soaps, detergent, and and human human excreta, and it's the single largest source of water pollution. Pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, algae enter the wastewater system through sewage, making it infected. Then typhoid, cholera, dysentery are commonly caused by drinking infected water. Water polluted by sewage may carry certain other bacteria, viruses, and viruses cannot grow by themselves but reproduce in the cells of host organisms. They cause a number of diseases, polio, such as polio, viral hepatitis, and maybe cancer, which are resistant to like the organic matter or oxygen demanding substances. They are responsible for deoxygenation of water bodies, which is harmful for life. Other ingredients which enter the various water bodies are the plant nutrient, and they support growth of algae, commonly called algal bloom, blue-green species. This process called eu- eutrophication. And the next is industrial pollutant. Many industries are located near rivers or freshwater streams. These are responsible for discharging the untreated effluents into rivers like highly toxic heavy metals such as chromium, mercury, etc., along with the hazardous organic and inorganic waste, example acids, alkalis, chlorides, etc. River gangs is waste from textile, sugar, paper, and pulp mills. And the most of these pollutants are resistant to breakdown by microorganisms. Therefore, damage the growth of crops and the polluted water is unsafe for drinking purposes. Factories manufacturing plastic and some fungicides and pesticides release mercury along with other effluents in nearby water body. Next is agricultural pollutant. First of all, crop waste from agriculture, then animal waste from farm, and processing waste from industry, and hazardous waste from fertilizers. The water body receiving large quantities of fertilizers, and also consumption of water rich in nitrates is bad for human health, especially for small children. And pesticides are used to kill insects and rodent pests, and toxic pesticides residues enter the human body through drinking water or through food chain. Next is radioactive and thermal pollutants. Radioactive waste, radionuclides found in water are radium and potassium 14. These isotopes originate from natural sources due to leaching from minerals. Water bodies are also polluted by accidental leakage of waste material from uranium and thorium mines, nuclear power plants, and industries. So, the radioactive materials enter the human body through water and food. They may cause tumor and cancer. And thermal sources, various industries, nuclear power plant, and thermal plants require water for cooling, and the resultant hot water is often discharged into river or lakes. This results in thermal pollution and leads to the imbalance in the ecology of the water body. The higher temperature lowers the dissolved oxygen level by decreasing the solubility of oxygen in water. Fish and other aquatic organisms can get affected by sudden change in the water temperatures. Next, water pollution and some biological effects. The natural source of water in the form of precipitation or rain is the purest form available in nature. However, after reaching the surface and then underground, it gets contaminated by a number of pollutants. There are some biological factors also mentioned earlier responsible for spoiling the quality of water. This includes the lower plants like algae and bacteria, which are the cause of nutrient accumulation in aquatic systems. First, eutrophication. It's a process by which water body slowly becomes rich in plant nutrients such as nitrates and phosphates due to soil erosion and runoff from the surrounding land. A water system like a lake or any reservoir may get a large inflow of organic matter from domestic waste and runoff from the surrounding land. Increasing human population, intensive agriculture, and rapid industrial growth have led to an increasing release of domestic waste, agricultural residues, industrial waste, and land runoff into various water bodies. As more plants grow, some of them die also due to larger oxygen demand and therefore oxygen deficiency in the water body. Such a water body is said to be eutrophied, and the process is known as eutrophication. Next, biological oxygen demand. The quality of oxygen used up by microorganisms at 77 degrees Celsius and in darkness during 3 days in breaking down organic waste in a water body is called its biological oxygen demand. You know that there are many organic compounds or waste present in a water body. The microorganisms present in the system act upon this waste for their own consumption and growth. In the process, the metabolic activity requires oxygen, which is met by the dissolved oxygen present in water. This amount of oxygen, which is defined as oxygen, and the BOD value of an aquatic system depends upon type and amount of organic waste and organism acting on it and the temperature and pH. Next is biomagnification. A variety of toxic chemicals move through food chains. Toxic pesticides may be sprayed for controlling insect pests, fungi, herbs, but they concentrate in the food chain and harm to other organisms. So, for example, DDT was sprayed in the US to control mosquitoes at a concentration expected to be harmless to non target organisms like fish and birds. DDT accumulated in the marsh and plankton. Planktons were eaten by fish, and the fish had a higher concentration of DDT in its body. Further, when birds ate the fish, they accumulated still higher concentration. This increase in concentration of accumulated toxic chemicals as one goes higher in the food chain is termed biomagnification.